I always preach this on my channel. You need to prepare for the interview as a candidate. If you go unprepared into an interview settings, most likely the outcome won't be the best. If you don't have the time to prepare for each interview, because of course I understand you apply for different companies, you are invited to different interviews, so you might not have the time to prepare for each of them. Do at least these 4 things that I'm about to talk in this video. Hi, my name is Cornelia. I work with Talent Acquisition and I usually post videos about corporate environment, how to find a job, what to say, not to say in job interviews, how to build your CV, etc. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about what will be the necessary steps that you need to prepare for an interview that will take 10 to 15 minutes of your time, but they will really make a difference in terms of your performance in that specific interview. So let's get straight into it. The first one is reading something about the company. This is so important because knowing information about the company shows your motivation to work for that specific role. And every interviewer would like to see that you are motivated to work in that role, because if you show zero motivation, most likely you won't get to the next stages within that specific recruitment process. Every recruiter or every interviewer will ask what you know about the company. And if you say nothing, or say that you didn't have time to research, or say that you don't know anything, this is a really bad sign, because this means that you are not motivated to work with us, because you actually didn't even have 5 minutes to read a brief description of the company, of the industry, some of the clients, etc. So this is very important. Go and read something about the company. As I mentioned, you can check their website, you can check their LinkedIn profile, or literally ask ChatGPT to give you some brief information about that specific company. I had interviews before where the candidates didn't even knew the name of the company that they were interviewing. This is a big red flag for each interviewer for that specific company, because it affects your motivation, or the motivation that you might show that you actually want that specific job. You won't move forward within the recruitment process if you show zero motivation. Moving forward, you need to read the job description. A job description usually has 1 page, so I think it will take you like 1 or 2 minutes to read it. This is very important because you need to curate your answers to match the requirements of the profile that the company wants, that is described in the job description. This means that you don't really need to lie in the interview or say things that are untruth about yourself just to match that specific job description. If you are asked to go into an interview, you already match most likely the profile of the candidate that the company is looking for. But you need to read the requirements and the responsibilities that you might have and curate your answers so you can match most of the things that are asked in that job description. For example, if you are a business administration graduate and you see that on the requirements people are looking for someone who had a background in economics or in business administration, you can actually mention this, that you are a graduate of business administration, right? Or if you have experience with Node.js and Golang, even though you don't have that many experience with one of them, but you worked in one of your previous projects, mention this if you see that this is something that is needed or it's required for that specific candidate that applies for the role. So you don't actually need to lie or to mold yourself to fit the job description, but you need to select the information that you already have about yourself, your personality, your skills, your experience that are matching with the requirements and responsibilities that are asked in that specific job description. The third point is to prepare an answer or to draft an answer in your head when you are asked to describe yourself. This is the first question that every interviewer is asking in an interview, to describe yourself. In this answer, you need to include some things about your previous experience, so the experience of your previous jobs, not the jobs that you had 10 to 15 years ago, about your educational background, your skills, past responsibilities or the main responsibilities that you had, and if you want at the end of it, some things about your hobbies or personality traits. So yeah, these will be some of the things that you need to include, and the description must be brief, so you really don't need to have more than, 5 to 6 phrases about everything. This really depends on your previous experience, skills, and the things that you believe that are the most representative to describe yourself in a job interview. Preparing this answer will help you a lot because it will give you a boost of confidence, right? Because when you are talking about yourself, you already have some ideas in your head that you like to present to the interviewer. This means that will make you more fluent. This will also help you with the first impression, because if you show them that you are fluent, that you already know the things that you can say about yourself, this will create a halo effect for the interviewer, and they will have a good impression of yourself based on the good answer that you had, that you already prepared, right? And after that, they will assess favorably all of the other answers that you might give, even though they are not really the best, just because you create a good impression with this answer that was very fluent, very well prepared prior to the interview. The fourth thing that you can do is to research things about the interviewer. Usually when you are invited to an interview, even if it's with the recruiter or with the director or with other stakeholders, most likely you know the name of the person. So you can search for them on LinkedIn using their name and the company that they are working at the moment, so the company that you are applying for. This is very important because you might actually find a lot of information about that specific person that you can use to impress them in the interview. For example, something that gives me always a boost of confidence is when I find that the interviewer has no information about recruitment, so they don't know anything about recruitment, or if the person that should interview me is a junior one in recruitment. Because this makes me be the expert in my profession during the interviews, or not say the expert, but the person that has more information about recruitment between me and the interviewer, because either I have more experience than them, or I have more knowledge because the person that is assessing me most likely don't know anything about recruitment. So this always gives me a boost of confidence. Another thing, when you see that the person has been working for that company that you are applying for a longer period of time, most likely they will have a lot of knowledge about the company. So you can ask them about a lot of other things that you might be interested in, because they will actually have the answer for it in a comparison with a person that has been working in that specific company for 1 year, for example. So it's very important to have some information about the interviewer and the person that you are going to talk with, because you need to think about the fact that they already have a lot of information about you. They already researched you by reading your CV, looking on your social media, looking on your LinkedIn profile, maybe checking with other recruiters from the companies that you were working previously. So yeah, the companies that you are interviewing for already have a lot of information about you. So I think that it's fair enough for you to get to know the interviewers as well, a little bit. I mean, yeah, just have a few informations about them, and at the same time will make the conversation feel more friendlier, let's say, because you already have some prior information about that person and they are not a total stranger to you. So all of the things that I've mentioned will take you 10 to 15 minutes. And I think that it's very important to go prepared a little bit, at least with these 4 things in an interview, because this will really make a difference and will really help you to move forward within the next recruitment stages. As I mentioned, it's great if you have more time to prepare for an interview than these 15 minutes or these 4 things that I've already mentioned, but at least do them if you actually don't have the time. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check one of my other videos where I'm telling you how to respond to these interview questions. Have a great day. Bye.